Filling in today for James Meny, pinch hitting and wearing number 7 is Raphaël Melançon joining us again today. Thank you for coming in.
Good afternoon, Aaron.
I gave you Mickey Mantle's number, by the way. I know that doesn't mean much, but it does to me.
I really appreciate it.
Okay. Listen, we have been talking back and forth. We took calls on this, and Elias talked about this earlier in the day. The situation with Lasalle College, which is stunning only because, well, for two reasons. Number one, because the figure, the dollar figure, is $30 million as what looks like a fine. And also the fact that when you read the headline, which says because they were having too many people taking courses in English, I mean, this is a crazy story, and followed by the fact that Pascal Derry, the higher language or the higher education minister, did not even apparently consult with Lasalle College, according to someone who was on this morning. So fill us in. You have some details on the story.
Yes, well, I've spoken with people at the higher education ministry this afternoon about this, and turns out the version that's being told by the Lasalle College might not be fully right. So what I hear from the ministry is that, first of all, this is not a fine per se. This is subsidies that they have received in surplus that they were not entitled to get in the first place. So they should not have received that public money in the first place because they were not respecting the quotas and that are set by Quebec law here. So they had 1,000 more English language students than they were allowed to have according to Quebec.
But why would that affect the subsidy? That would be after the fact when you found out they had the students. That's a fine. How do you frame it any way you want?
Well, that's the point here. There's two things. First of all, LaSalle College asked for too much subsidies for the number of students they were allowed to have. So 1,000 extra students that they were not allowed to welcome for the year 2024-2025. So that's about what they receive in terms of subsidy. It's about $5,000 per student. So 1,000 more, it's about $5.6 million that they have to reimburse the government because they should not have received those public funds in the first place.
So so there's a limit on how many students they were allowed to have.
Exactly. It's about for LaSalle College, it's about 700 or so per year that they can allow within the college.
And they exceeded that quota.
They exceeded that by over 1,000 students. So of course it's a major gap, it's a major gap. And so they have to reimburse the money they've perceived too extra, and on top of that, there's a fine added. There's a penalty added for not respecting the law. So it's 5.5 just for 2024-2025. It's $5.6 million that they have to reimburse, plus a fine of roughly $14 million. So that comes to $21 million in total just for last year. The previous year they have $8 million to reimburse, but what I'm being told by the ministries is that they have an agreement right now, a legal agreement. They've come to an agreement to reimburse that sum of money for the previous year, the $8 million, over the course of many years, so they won't have to pay it all at once.
So you're kind of giving me the impression from the people you spoke to in the ministry, this is not, as the head of, I think, LaSalle, who was on this morning, said,
exactly, Mr. Marchand.
It's not existential in the sense that if this doesn't go away, they're going to have to close. They're out of business.
Well, I believe if we look at what happened for 2023-2024, they were able to come to an agreement to extend the payments over the course of many years. So I guess that for 2024-2025, they should be able to come to the same agreement. What I'm being told by the ministry is that they're currently having legal discussions about the year 2024-2025. Right now, LaSalle College is suing the government, so also it's using public funds right now to defend the government's position, whereas LaSalle College, in the first place, did not respect Quebec laws. And what the ministry is telling me is that it's the only private college in Quebec that is in this situation right now. All other private colleges across the province were able to meet the requirements of the law. They don't have any issues with that, and the only one that's rogue, quote, is currently Lasalle College.
So it seems to me, as you describe this, I think to myself, it's interesting in everything you just said, there's been no mention of English or English classes or people taking courses in English, when that is part of what the problem here seems to have been. Is that not part of the issue?
Well, it is related to English, to the language that's being taught to those students. Yes, so the 700 quota that they have is English language students. So they can't have over 762, if I recall the exact number. They can't have over 762 English language students at once per year at Lasalle College.
So it's not total number of students, it's specifically students in English.
In English, exactly. per requirements of the Quebec law, same requirements that all private colleges have in Quebec. All other private colleges were able to respect that law. Only Lasalle College has had issues, and the gap here, it's not just 10 or 20 more students they've welcomed in a single year. It's over 1,000 students extra that they were not allowed to take and that they still took, and they got subsidies for that. Now, the other question that I had for the ministry, and it's not clear here, is how come did the ministry send the check, the 5.6 million subsidies to Lasalle College, knowing that in the first place, Lasalle College was not meeting the requirements of the law. So there's also a shared fault here. Because
was that found out after the fact? What was their answer to you? Did they not know that?
What I'm being told is that basically what Lasalle College does is after the school year, Lasalle College sends final numbers as to the number of students that they've welcomed in the past year, and that's where the ministry found out that there was an extra 1,000 students. But to me, somebody within the ministry should have flagged it, because in the first place, if they sent 5.6 million extra to LaSalle College in subsidies, whereas they were not allowed to get that as per the law, well, somebody should have seen it coming in the ministry.
What about this argument from, again, the gentleman from LaSalle College, who said there's been no communication? We've heard this before with Pascal Derry. It happened with Concordia. It happened with McGill. Oh, this is coming down. They had no clue this was coming. This seems to be a very similar case, or is it not?
Well, I mean, if again, what I'm being told by the ministry here, and there's two versions of the same story here that's going around. So there's the version from Mr. Marchand at LaSalle College, and then there's the version on the side of the ministry. What I hear from the ministry is that they've come to an agreement for the year 2023-2024, the $8 million. They've made an agreement with them, a legal agreement. So that means there are discussions going on.
So LaSalle has admitted that they basically cheated, if you will, in 2023-24 by taking in too many students?
Of course, if they came to an agreement, obviously they've accepted the fact that they need to reimburse that sum of money that they received.
They gave, was it $5,000 per student? What was it? Do you know?
It's what the ministry told me is that the roughly per student they get around $5,000.
Okay.
So the extra 1,000 for the past year, for instance, that comes to 5.6 million that they have to reimburse. And on top of that, you're adding penalties, fines of roughly $14 million. That's a lot.
The fines are 3 times the size of the actual, the over number of students.
That's a lot. And I tell you what, Aaron, if it's a shared fault, if in the first place the ministry should have flagged it when LaSalle College asked for too much money for too many students before the beginning of the school year, if it's a shared fault, then what I would say is the only settlement possible is that LaSalle College sends back the 5.6 million they should not have taken in the first place, and the ministry on the other side gets rid of the penalty.
Exactly. Okay,
would be a fair
it
deal.
Would be. Well, let's see if that happens. I mean, we're just this story is really only coming to light now.
Absolutely.
It's going to take a few days. We're going to eventually
We'll continue to watch it, but
okay.
I urge all parties to come to an agreement, a fair agreement for all parties.
It's a Friday, so let's end it up with something positive as opposed to something negative. There's a new Leger poll out today that's asking Canadians about what's the happiest city in the country. Mm-hmm. Quebec did pretty well in this. In terms of Quebec, I think number one is happiest province in the country,
and Montreal comes second in terms of the happiest, the city, the large city in Canada where people are happiest, just behind Mississauga. So we have to be proud of that. And you know what, Aaron, it just make me thought reading that it's a Leger poll, like they call it the Indice des villes du bonheur in French, and it's very interesting to see how Montreal performs in these. And also, we have the chance to have here in Montreal in Verdun since 10 years now. Verdun has been voted the coolest neighborhood in North America. We really have a great city. We got to be proud of that.
I'm sorry, just as you said that, I couldn't help but smiling. We took a call earlier in the show for some guy who lives in Verdun, complaining about there's nowhere to park a car anymore because they've turned Wellington Street, of course, not only into a pedestrian mall, which is great, and he acknowledged that, but further up on Verdun Avenue, they put bike lanes in. There's nowhere to park a car there anymore. So maybe in the next poll, Verdun doesn't do so well.
Maybe it's not good for the happiness of car drivers, but people in general seem to be very happy. And I live in that area too. I can tell you that it's a lovely neighborhood. Do
you not own a car, Raphaël?
I do not own a car, actually, to be honest with you.
But
I've owned a car.
You can't weigh in on this. I'm sorry, you don't qualify.
I've owned a car for many years. I understand the reality of people owning cars. Sometimes you do need to have a car, either because you're disabled, either because you have a large family, either because you're an elderly person. It's important to have a good balance, I believe. So yes, bike lanes all the way, but also some places also for cars. We need that. But overall, I think if you look, I was just yesterday, just to give you an example. Yesterday, I was with friends watching the fireworks. This is unbelievable. The chance we have in this city. Sometimes we're not taking enough time just to admire the chance we have to live in such a vibrant city. Montreal has the largest fireworks competition in the entire world, and it's happening here every Thursday and Sunday nights. Hundreds, thousands of people are going there on the bridge.
Are you doing an ad for Montreal tourism now? What are you doing?
I'm just, it's Friday, Aaron. I wanted to have a positive message. People are going on vacation.
I want to know why you gave up your car.
Okay, because I was getting too many tickets.
You mean you had nowhere to park, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't have I used to have a garage, but where I live now, I don't have a garage anymore. Parking on the street is quite hectic sometimes, quite impossible sometimes. It's difficult. In the winter, you have snow plowing. I got so many tickets because of that. In the summer, they clean up the street 2 times a week. Then again, much more tickets. It's a whole business for the city, And I just didn't need the car, apart from going to visit my family in Joliette sometimes. I'm close to a metro station. I'm close to all services I need, so I didn't really need a car. Got rid of the car, and now if I need a car, I could rent one with Communauto. I could use Uber. I could use so many other alternative options.
I get it.
I'm fine with that.
Good for you. By the way, I should point out, Raphael shows up in a chauffeured limo every time he comes to the radio station. So just, keep that in mind as well. Hey, it's great having you come in. I appreciate you doing the last couple of days for us. And we look forward to having you back here.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. Always a great pleasure.
Raphaël Melançon, you can catch him on CTV, by the way. He's also writing a column in the Montreal Gazette now.
A column in the Montreal Gazette. You can read me next Tuesday. Absolutely.
Bueno.